ready to create an amazing story?
Choose a book from one of these real-life writing heroes
to make a new story just like theirs. Charles Dickens used his imagination to write great stories.
Stories that lots of people still love today.
Ooh, let's create a story about Brad's imagination. One day, Brad was laying down on his bed. When suddenly, Brad imagined it was a castle. And Brad imagined he was in a baseball game. Then Brad imagined he saw popcorn.
Whoa, now that's using your imagination.
And Brad imagined he was holding a tennis racket.
Whew, my imagination is exhausting.
So Brad imagined he was relaxing in his bedroom.
Ooh, now there's a story I loved.
The end.
Thanks for telling such a silly story about my imagination.
Using your imagination makes everything more fun.
Just like Charles Dickens.
Zora Neale Hurston wrote all kinds of stories.
And she shared them with people all around the world.
Hey, let's create a sharing story about Brad. Brad was writing his new comic book alone in the playground. When suddenly Brad saw a lonely octopus.
Aw, poor lonely guy.
So, Brad decided to share his comic book about Agent Chaos. Reading Brad's comic book together made it so hungry.
Sharing makes everything better.
So then they decided to eat ice cream.
That story was awesome!
The end.
Thanks for telling an awesome sharing story about me.
Stories are best when you share them with others.
Just like Zora Neale Hurston.